Okay, so today is Friday, September 27th, and today I learned what you should do when you are underperforming mentally and physically, and then I have an overall tip for both mental and physical. So I have one for mental, one for physical, and then one that applies to both. So these are kind of like mindsets that you need to remind yourself of when you are underperforming and not necessarily achieving what you want to achieve within this certain mental skill or physical skill. So, for the mental one, this morning, not productive, scrolling, just like giving in to my dopamine desires, and I wasn't very productive. But once I was self-aware and once I was like, okay, how can I reset? How can I forget all that happened this morning and just try to get as much done as I can with the limited time left? And what I did is something that has basically without fail has always helped me. I don't do it all the time, but when I do it, it is very useful. And that is to just, first of all, the first thing you need to do when you need a reset, when you're underperforming mentally, right? You are not doing the things that you want to be doing mentally. So I had to do school. So I wasn't using my brain. I was underperforming my brain because I was just scrolling down the dopamine hole. But I need to perform mentally and actually do my school. So when I was underperforming mentally, first of all, this is just a smaller thing, get all your materials. Like I got rid of my phone, got rid of my computer, left them in a different room, and just got all the things that I needed. Thankfully, the thing that I needed to do didn't require a computer. But yeah, I just got all the things that I needed. And then the thing that helped me the most was literally I sat there and did nothing for, I think it was 3 minutes. So I spent like 10 minutes prepping, so just getting the materials I needed and writing down, like planning out, scheduling out the rest of my day and what I wanted to accomplish for the rest of my day, even though the previous morning had been super unproductive. So I did that. I had my goal, and then before I started, because you know when you're scrolling and you just keep scrolling and your brain just like, you can't go directly from scrolling to doing something that requires mental effort. You can't, it's very, very hard to just make that transition immediately. So to make that transition easier and just a better transition between your brain dead dopamine brain over to a very focused, a very focused brain, to make that transition, you just have to sit there and do nothing. And it literally only takes 3 minutes. I just set a timer for 3 minutes and I sat there, observed my surroundings, listened. I was observing my senses. In a way, it's kind of like meditating, except I didn't have my eyes closed. I kind of just sat there, listened to what my sister was saying. She was like messing around on her guitar. It was just like absorb my environment and don't worry about what you need to do. Don't worry about how terrible your morning was. Just sit there, let your thoughts come in and go out as they need to, and just sit there. It was very helpful. I literally just did this, and I didn't play music. I didn't do anything like that. I just set a timer for 3 minutes, sat here and just looked around, listened to things, tried to find things that I have never seen before, and just sat there for 3 minutes. And when occasionally I would think of an idea and I would write it down and I would just sit there. So sometimes I would kind of entertain my thoughts, because when you're just sitting there, your brain needs to find something to do. So it will cook something up. So sometimes it's fun to just entertain what kind of rabbit trail your brain goes down, and maybe even leads you to a great idea. But yeah, I just sat there and did nothing for 3 minutes. And then it was kind of like a mental reset, and I just got to doing what I needed to do, and I was able to do that thing complete focused for an hour. So that is my solution that is how you can transition from being super like unproductive, hating yourself, your brain is just not working, dopamine hole, and make that transition to being very focused. Just sit there, no music, no stimulation, sit there for 3 minutes and do nothing. That is what I did. That is how you can mentally reset when you are mentally underperforming. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is what to do when you are physically underperforming. So today, I have 2 examples for this. The main one was a more conscious decision that I thought of this, but the other one was kind of, I just did it subconsciously. I was working out. I was doing a leg workout. Leg workouts are always hard, right? And I was doing an exercise that I really don't like. They're called Bulgarian split squats, if you know what that is. And I was just doing it, and I really don't like them. So I was just trying to distract myself from the pain of doing the reps. So I had music. I was just trying to think about, like, I was still counting, but I was just trying to distract myself in a way from the pain. Another example, don't worry, I'm going to get to what this physical underperforming tool that you need to use, but the other example is that I was outside working on my softball skills. If you know anything about softball or baseball, I'm a middle infielder, and I'm trying to work on throwing at different arm angles, so like sidearm and like submarine or whatever. It doesn't matter if you don't know what that is, but basically, I was working on doing that on the run, and usually it does not go well. Usually, like, it's something that I've been working on for a while. I'm just trying to get better at because I'm not very good at it. But today, somehow, it just all clicked, and I was just able to do it. I was able to hit the target that I wanted to hit, and I was just doing it without much struggle. And it just kind of clicked for me, and I was doing it naturally. And the thing that I was telling myself to produce that result, I was literally thinking, don't think, just do. I was trying to distract myself from what I was actually doing. I was listening to music. I was literally singing the words out loud to distract myself from what I was doing. And then I would be singing, and I would go do it, and I'd throw it, and it would be like right on the money. So basically what I'm trying to say is that when you're underperforming physically, when you are in pain, when you're struggling with anything, distract yourself from what you're trying to do. Distract yourself from the current action that you are doing, whether that is a certain rep of an exercise or whether that is a certain technique or skill that you're trying to do. Don't think about what you're doing. Think about something else. Listen to music, sing the words, and then just do it without thinking. Stay relaxed. I think that is a key to performing well physically, is just staying relaxed. Because if you're not thinking about what you need to do, then you're just kind of relaxed and you're just kind of messing around. I have noticed that whenever I'm in like a pressure-free environment, whenever I'm like hanging out with friends and like throwing a football or something, and I like try to do the different arm angles, I can get it like easily because I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just trying it. So basically, when you're underperforming physically, don't think, just do. Don't think, distract yourself from the actual thing you're doing and just try to do it. Be relaxed, and if you fail, then that's okay. And that directly transitions into an overall mindset that will help with any underperforming, whether mental, physical, or any other underperforming aspects of your life. And that is to fail. Try to fail. I was trying a new thing outside for my softball, and I literally told myself, let's fail. Like, let me fail at this. And then I would fail at it, and then I was getting better at every rep, and I was okay with failing. So be okay with failing. And in fact, allow failing, support the failure. Because failure is like the one thing that triggers your brain to learn the most. When you fail, like, you're learning a lot, physically and mentally and all that kind of thing. So accept and support your failure, because your failure is ultimately going to get you where you want to get. Because if you never fail, then you don't have as deeper of a understanding and as deeper of a connection, I guess, to what you're trying to do. Because when I'm like doing school, right, this applies to learning how to learn. When I'm doing school and I get a problem right, I don't think about that problem, like, ever again. Basically, I don't think about the problems I got right. I'm always thinking about the problems I got wrong. Because when I get a problem wrong, I'm thinking about, like, okay, how can I remember this in the future, and how can I make sure I actually truly understand this so that in the future I don't make this mistake again. And I'm always thinking about, you never think about the problems you got right, you're always thinking of the problems you got wrong. So accept failure, support your failure, and realize that you need failure in order to learn a good amount. failure is necessary for learning. So yeah, those are the 3 mindsets that will help you when you're underperforming, whether that is mentally or physically or just overall in anything. If you're underperforming mentally, then just sit in a comfy spot and sit there, do nothing, don't talk, don't say a word, just absorb your surroundings and sit there for 3-5 minutes. It really doesn't take that long, and it has really helped me transition from scrolling to being completely focused. If you are physically underperforming, then don't think about what you're trying to do, just do it. Don't think, just do. Distract yourself from when you're actually trying to achieve, and just be relaxed and try and do that thing, but don't think about it. And then the last thing that you can do when you are underperforming in any area of life is to just accept failure. Treat it like success. Treat your failure like success. Take it for what it is, learn from it, and move on. Because failure is very, very important and very helpful for your growth. So those are the 3 ways to help you when you're underperforming, either mentally, physically, or any other aspect of life. If you want to see more videos like these, then definitely subscribe, because I am posting every single day daily insights talking about what I learned today, how I'm implementing it into my life, and how you guys can implement it into yours. So if you want to see those kinds of videos, then subscribe. And if you do so, then I will see you tomorrow. Peace out, brother.